So I have a scholar project, and I have to present a presentation about. The theme is about big data, information system, technology, and so I had to choose a company, and I chose Shoprite because it's in Madagascar, and I thought that you have big data.
Yes, we do, but again, it depends on exactly what you need, because obviously we can only share some information we can share and some information we can't. It depends on what type of information you're looking for.
Yes, I understand. So I prepared some questions for one interview. So first, I'd like to ask, Shoprite must ensure the circulation of important information in the company to ensure proper functioning. So do you have a CRM software to ensure this circulation?
Well, obviously there's various, obviously there's the normal email system for communication between personnel, but we have in-store we also use SAP.
SAP?
Yeah. It's
a software?
It's an international software that they use for, I don't know what's the breakdown of it, but what SAP stands for. It's a German system.
Oh, it's a German system.
Yeah, so SAP that we do for financing, buying, and for running the in-store systems.
Oh, thank you. So, since when did you have you used the SAP? Since when?
Well, we've only the company has had different systems before.
Oh yeah.
The previous system. The SAP has only been introduced for the last 3 years because the SAP is a big system. It can take a lot of information.
Yes.
So the company decided to put that in because if a company eventually have 4,000 stores, for example, they want a system that is stable, that can take extra volumes on it without the system crashing. The previous system we had was called Operation Better Store, which is it's just an internal name, Operation Better Store. That system was a good system, but it had a limit capacity. So if a company grew by another 1,000 stores, the system would not be able to cope, because Shoprite uses an online system. Everything that we do is online. So the tills is the cash registers is online, orders, everything that we do is online. So at the end of each day, our sales and everything is transmitted, plus our stock ledger that says, for example, you have 20 pens and then you sold 2 today.
Yes.
Then the stock ledger automatically updates every day, ongoing, to make sure that you have a real-time information of what's going on as far as stock is concerned, and everything within the operation.
Thank you. Who have access to the information you have, and is there an open data?
Well, it depends what type of data is it, but generally, when it comes to the normal day-to-day operational issues in the stores, that there's a password for every person that needs to do a certain function. So if it's the ordering clerk and he has to do some ordering, he has a specific code to be able to use it. And likewise for the stock administrator, if he has to do any functions within the system, he has his own password to be able to go, but they'll only be able to go to a certain extent. When it comes to more detailed information like management reports and things like that, that only the store management have access to those information.
Thank you. So because you have to process a lot extra information, which type of information does your big data take account, and how does it process the information?
Well, we have a huge number of different reports for different reasons. We have financial reports, we have buying reports, we have store reports. It all depends on what type of information is required, but there's a lot of different type of reports. And as I say, most of these reports are run overnight, so the next day the store will get certain reports that generate automatically in the store to be able to give to them. Like for example, if we do price changes, if the product's price goes up or down, then we will process that, put that in the system, and the next morning there will be a price change report that comes through for the store that shows them what prices has changed, and then they have to, you'll see on the shelf there's like a yellow label that shows the price. Then the store have to update those labels to make sure that they show the customer the correct price. So there's lots of, so in store there's like a lot of reports relating to orders, to the stock administration, and also on financial reports and things like that. And then as I say, from the buying department there's a lot of reports too. And then from the finance department there's also a lot. And then separately there's management reports that get generated, some of them on a daily basis and some of them on a weekly basis and some of them on a monthly basis.
Okay, thank you. So I think that all was about the supply chain and human resources. But about marketing, how do you process your information?
Well, okay, the marketing, that depends what part of marketing you're referring to. But firstly, for example, if we, our buying department, when they put, there's certain time periods of the month that we do, for example, do advertising and promotions in that period. So then they will process the update, for example, all the cost prices and the new selling prices. And then obviously we also have a marketing team that do the format of the advertising and things like that. And that is communicated to the stores, and then on the date that the promotion starts, all those price changes will come through in the store, and it will last for the duration. For example, if the advert is 3 weeks, or depending, sometimes it's 4 weeks, then that will be the duration for the period. But you have it depends on what side of the marketing you're looking at. We have local people that do certain local marketing.
Yes,
we also have some people based in Shoprite head office in Cape Town that also deal with the marketing, the design of the advertising, or the theme of the advertising, and things like that, for example.
Oh, okay, thank you. And do you think that your SEP become an advantage for you? And sometimes, how does it help you to take decisions?
Well, SEP, because it's a big system, it's an online system, it can the capacity of what type of information it can take is a lot. So it can be a big advantage in the future, because also, just to give you an example, in South Africa they've introduced, they will probably do it in the next 6 months or whatever in Africa as well, but they've introduced a customer, not a buying card, but a customer loyalty card. Now, by every time that the customer uses the card with purchases, then they can, through the SAP system, they can generate information to get customer information about seeing what products is related to certain customers, age groups and things like that. So then they can also do more precision marketing to see exactly what is the right things to promote and things, and what time of the month, what product sells the best and things like that. So with the system, there is a lot of things that can be done. Depends on what type of information you would require from the system.
And do you use that technology here in Madagascar?
Well, we don't use those cards yet, but we do have the same information that Africa is using. We use in all African countries. So it's not just based. Each country doesn't have its own system. The whole group, the Shoprite group, and including all the countries that's outside of South Africa, utilizes the same system. That's why it's all online. All that information gets transmitted to Cape Town. So sales and everything is up to date at any given time that you want it.
Yes, thank you. So does your big data meet the need of customers and employees?
Sorry, just say again?
Does the big data meet the needs of customers and employees?
I think that for us at the moment it does to a certain extent, but as I say, it can be utilized better once
Yes.
they use those customer loyalty cards to get more precise details from customers. But for example, we have lots of information that we can utilize. For example, we know, for example, what is our, doesn't matter what number we want, a top 10 or top 100, top 150 lines, what sells the most in quantities, what sells the most in value. It doesn't matter, so that information is available. Plus, if I want to know, for example, on this item now, how many items is in the store now, or if all stores have that item, I can just go in the system, put the item number for this item in, and then I'll be able to see if all 10 stores have got stock or which stores has got stock missing, and then we can always send extra stock to that store. So we have lots of information available that we can use, and obviously because of there's another system that's linked to SAP, which is an internal system, but we call it the BI portal. And that is that there's various reports in there that we can use for like managing stock, and also not only managing stock, but also if we want to transfer stock and things like that. So we know so if we want to make sure that we have our top 150 items always in stock, we can check that ongoing all the time to be able to make sure that the customer doesn't get to the store and get disappointed. For example, if the customer wants to buy Uviv water, we have to make always sure that that item is always in stock.
Yes, and I think that it also simplify the work of employees because all is automatic.
Yeah, in South Africa, it's not here yet because the lead time from South Africa with the shipping is not always consistent. But in South Africa, because of the system, the system is simplified to be automated.
Yes.
So in other words, there's only certain things that the store staff have to do, but the system itself will do the ordering and everything. So they just have to sometimes double check certain quantities to verify that the quantities are correct.
Mm-hmm.
But the system will then generate suggested orders. The management just have to check the order, sign it off, and the orders will go automatically through to our distribution centers. The distribution center people will just do the picking of the orders and then send it to the store. So that because you know, if you start having like 2,000, I think Shoprite's got down about more than 2,500 stores, it's not always possible to have 2,500 excellent ordering clerks. So that's why the system knows, and the system can calculate based on history, you know, with all the system that's in place, how much is the required order for each item. So then all those orders will come through automatically, and it will maintain the store to be full all the time. But in Madagascar itself, we are not automated ordering yet because it's Africa, for example. If a store is in Africa and the distribution center is, for example, 20 kilometers or 100 kilometers away, they can deliver there perhaps every once or maybe say 2 or 3 times a week. But for us, we have to first wait for the containers to come from Africa, and sometimes it goes via Mauritius, so sometimes there's transshipment problems, and then sometimes the container can take longer to come. So it's not quite possible to do it for us because of the fact that the lead time is a time from the time we place the order until the date that we actually receive the stock is not always 100% consistent. So if it was straight, for example, 20 days, then it will be easy, but on average the moment it's about 55 days plus minus from Africa. From Africa to here is actually not that far, but 55 days is already a very long time period.
Okay, so I have a last question. So what are the various jobs we can find in the information system in Shoprite?
Well, in information system, okay, I know really in the information system there's not. We only got one IT manager for Shoprite Madagascar, but in the group itself there's more positions in Cape Town. But the only thing that you're talking more about the staff in the stores, what type of positions, or more to do with IT?
Yes, we can talk about the staff in the store.
Okay, so the store staff basically consists of a management team that can vary between a minimum of 3 management, which is a store manager plus 2 assistant managers for the smaller stores, and the bigger stores can have 1 store manager plus 4 assistant managers. And then you have a supervisor structure that controls certain positions, and then you have your normal store staff that does the various individual jobs like cashiers, shelf packers, cleaners, security, etc. That type of thing. But on the IT side, our IT side is for Madagascar is just 1 person, because most of the things gets done from Cape Town. Because it's online, even if there's a problem, they can fix it from that side without having to come here. If there's a problem with for example, that the network is not working because we've got fiber optic cable from we use from Telma. So if there's a problem with the line, we just have to contact them. But apart from that, our IT guy, if there's an individual problem at the store, he will go there, fix it. But most of the other things are fixed online from Cape Town.
Thank you very much.
Does that cover everything?
Yes.
If you have more questions or something, then they don't.
No, it's okay. It was full of information.
Okay, sure.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Very much.
Thank you.
You've been in Madagascar over a long time, or just?
I was born here.
Oh,
I'm half Chinese. My mother is Madagascar.
oh, okay.
I study in Clairefontaine.
Oh, so you work with Vicky?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, if I have some more question, could I write? And
Yeah, you can. Here's my email address. It's on here.
Thank
and
you.
can just send the question, and I'll just reply and give you an answer.
Thank you. Thank you.
So when is the deadline for your project?
Excuse me?
The deadline, when is it supposed to be completed?
It's in 2 months.
2 months. Oh,
Yes.
Okay. Now, if there's more questions, then yeah, please let me know.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
And excuse me for disturbing you.
No, that's a problem. Thank you. But please feel free to send them anytime, then I will reply to you for that. I mean, obviously, we can't supply anything else apart from that. You ever go to China? Or?
Yes, I think this year, I don't know if probably is able to do this.
Yeah, hopefully that will come get sorted out soon.
Yes.